Previously on The Sims 4 Big Brother.
Our final 3 Sims made it to the big boss level of this Big Brother game. All summer long, they've been battling week to week in different levels, and they have finally made it to the end. And that is the 3-part final HOH competition. And it's going to be divided up into Brains, Bronze, and Beauty. And our Brains competition was a Blick Block challenge. And sadly, the girls did not seem to be in the right headspace for the competition, as Bob completely dominated it and won Part 1. He will now immediately go into Part 3 of this HOH. However, now the 2 girls, Rashida and Zoe, must battle against one another. They weren't that good at Brains, but maybe the 2 of them are better at Brawn. And they had to go head to head in another familiar game, this one being Foosball. However, Rashida managed to pull out the win and won Part 2. That means Zoe is completely out of the running and will definitely not be the final HOH. But that doesn't mean she's going home just yet. We still have Part 3 between Bob and Rashida. And in this episode, they will finally battle head to head, with one of them gaining the power to pick who sits beside them in the final 2. What's gonna happen? Find out now on The Sims 4 Big Brother. Alright, all my beanie weenies, we have finally made it to the last competition of The Sims 4 Big Brother US Season 2. And it all comes down to this. And this is the biggest competition we've had so far, not only in terms of stakes, but also just sheer scale. This whole episode is this huge race that I've put together. And it's all down between Bob Pancakes and Rashida. And both of them are heading on back into our challenge arena for the last time this series. Alright, you two, so far in this 3-part final HOH competition, you've done Brain, you've done Brawn, and now it's time for Beauty. Laid out in front of you is the Big Brother house, but on a little bit of a smaller scale. First, you're going to have to jump through the pool in order to get access to the house, where once inside the living room, you have a few tasks you need to complete. You need to fix the TVs and make a meal and eat it. Once you've done all 3 of those, you are able to climb up the ladder and have access to the 2nd floor, where things are going to get a little bit more complicated. In the first room, we have our future cube, and that's going to gain you access to the next room, the karaoke room. You will have to spin as many times as possible in order to get access and compete in karaoke. Once you are able to do that, you're going to move on over to the HOH room, where there is some laundry that you need to tend to in the bathroom downstairs. Now, the next few steps don't have to be in order, so you can do the laundry first, or you can head on into the Have Not room, where I'm there, and you have to fight me in a pillow fighting competition. Once you're able to win, then you pass that room. However, we're not done yet, because downstairs in the bathroom, you're also going to have to run for an hour on the treadmill, take a shower, and do your makeup. Once you complete all of these challenges, you will be able to swim back to the front, and whoever gets it here first wins. And not only do they win this competition, they win the last final HOH, where you have the power to choose who you sit beside in the final 2. Now let's get started. Change into your swimsuits and jump in those pools. Okay, and it's not as easy as just swimming over there because of this checkered board pattern. They're gonna have to jump in and out of all the pools in order to find the right tile that gains them access, because this archway is a debug archway, so there's only really one entry and they have to kind of figure out the easiest way to get there. And either Rashida is being really fast or really smart, as she's been able to catch up to Bob Pancakes even though she was a little bit behind. Bob, however, is the first one to enter the living room, and he makes his way over to one of the TVs and immediately starts repairing it. And again, all of these challenges are things that they could have practiced while in the house. So those neon signs that are covering the living and dining room, all of them were always breaking down, and usually I saw Knox and sometimes Bob fixing them, but I never saw Rashida, so I'm not too surprised that once she enters the living room, she immediately starts cooking a meal, because we have seen her do that at least, and she's probably trying to get the easiest thing out of the way. But of course, things can't be that easy, and immediately Rashida catches fire while trying to cook a grilled cheese. I'm just surprised it wasn't Bob that did that, but who knows, he still has to cook in a little bit, and I'm sure his oven is also going to catch fire. Thankfully, this is all pretty routine in the Big Brother house, so Bob immediately starts to defuse the situation and put out the fire, and Rashida has a pool right there that she's able to jump into. So all is well. However, that does not mean they're able to stop competing. Immediately, Bob has to turn right back around and continue working on that TV, and Rashida is going to have to start cooking that meal once again.
Utsul. Baribi wi... Ugh. Oh, Illinois.
While Bob repairs his TV, he actually discovers that he likes handiness, which is a really huge benefit, as immediately once discovering that, he finishes up with the TV and is ready to move on and start cooking his meal. He is already halfway through the living room portion of this competition. Oh, this competition is so long that by the end of it, I don't know if they're actually going to be able to finish it. I sure hope so. We see that now Rashida has moved on to the eating portion, and she is munching down on that grilled cheese that she successfully made the second time. However, Bob is known to start fires, so I am watching him cook while on the edge of my seat.
Quaz, Glen Gopa.
Alright, maybe Bob actually learned from all of those fires he started throughout the series. Maybe seeing Rashida do it helped him not do it this time, but who really knows? But he was able to finish cooking without any difficulty and is now enjoying his grilled cheese, while Rashida moves on to repairing her TV. Bob has finished eating and has completed the living room portion of this race, so he is now able to get up on that ladder and climb upstairs. Upstairs in the lounge, he has to grab that future cube and spin it as many times as he's able to in order to get a positive response that will gain him access into the karaoke room. And on the first roll, Bob immediately gets a successful spin and gets access into the karaoke room, where he can now sing one song on the machine.
Hello, Nunsit Dunshi Famsazo.
While Bob has already moved on to his third room, Rashida is still in the first, trying to repair that TV as fast as she can.
Up in Wamu. Zabale.
Eventually, Rashida does manage to finish repairing that television, and she is done with the living room portion and can climb up that ladder and start taking some spins in order to get access to the karaoke room. While Rashida is trying to get into the room, Bob is already making his way out of it. He has finished singing his one song and is moving on to doing the laundry portion of the challenge. While Rashida doesn't seem to have as good of luck as Bob did and has a failure her first go around. She's gonna have to keep on spinning in order to get in there. And yes, while they are doing the laundry, they are also going to have to move it to the dryer as well and put it away. So that's going to take some time regardless. After 2 spins, Rashida still hasn't gotten a positive response and has moved on to her 3rd round, which doesn't look too good either. And she's getting further and further behind in this race as Bob continues moving forward. And it's pretty good that Bob has already started on that laundry, since it is going to take some time and it's better to do it now than have to go back and try to wait to do both at the last minute. However, Rashida on her 4th go around does finally get a positive answer and is able to go into that karaoke room and sing her little song.
Blue vel buzam kufa, shishatab kalu viva.
After Bob finishes putting those dirty clothes into the washer, he makes his way into the have-not room where he does have to duel me in a pillow fighting competition. And it's not gonna be too easy, okay? This little wiener is a pro at pillow fighting, and they're gonna have to do it as many times until they finally succeed. And again, all of this is stuff they could have been practicing while in the house. Those karaoke machines were there for a while, the laundry has always been there, and almost all of the have-nots have gotten into a pillow fight at one time or another.
Whoops!
While Bob and me are fighting, Rashida has finished singing karaoke and starts to work on her laundry while she can't have access to the have-not room as Bob is in there. And Bob has managed to finish the pillow fighting, but he did not win, so he is going to have to go ahead and start round 2. I feel pretty bad for Rashida. She's starting to put her clothes in the washer while Bob's has already finished washing. He just has to move it to the dryer. She's all burnt and smelly, and now she's just gonna get even smellier while running on the treadmill. Upstairs, the fight between me and Bob in the have-not room increases in intensity. Neither of us are going easy on the other one. We are pelting each other with these pillows, so hard in fact that Bob ends up quitting again in round 2, which means that that lead he had is slowly dwindling because no one's going to be stopping Rashida from running on that treadmill. She's going to be able to finish that task and move on to the next, while Bob is kind of stuck here waiting to see if he's going to be able to manage a win. And even though it's taking Bob some time to beat me in pillow fighting, Rashida isn't really getting that much of a lead downstairs as she wasn't able to continue running because of her filth. So she went ahead and decided to take a shower, which you kind of have to do anyway as part of the task, but that doesn't mean she's done running. But upstairs, Bob is finally done at fighting me with the pillows. He managed to pick up some of my techniques, and that got him a win around round 5. He is now completely done with the upstairs area and just has to finish doing everything in the bathroom downstairs. Rashida sadly still has a lot to do. Okay, the only thing she's managed to complete down here is the take a shower portion. Okay, the easiest one. She is now back onto the treadmill while Bob moves his laundry into the dryer. Bob then makes his way onto the treadmill alongside Rashida, and I gotta say it would be pretty embarrassing if he was able to complete this before she's able to do it. And while Rashida has worked out from time to time in the house, Bob has made a massive transformation. He lost all of his excess weight, he shaved his beard. I mean, he looks so much younger than when he entered the house, and I'm sure Eliza is watching from home and finally becoming attracted to him. But we'll have to wait and see if he is able to go ahead and finish this, or if he has the energy after that huge pillow fight that lasted so many rounds. Now, I don't really know if it was smart for Rashida to do so, but she did kind of split that hour on the treadmill up into two. She ran for 30 minutes, took a shower, and then only had to run for 30 minutes more. So she is done with that, but as we can see from her little waddle up the stairs, she does have to use the bathroom, and I can't help but think that's going to be a disadvantage to this pillow fight she's about to do against me.
Undo! Whoa! Blomberg!
While Rashida starts that pillow fight, Bob is still dominating the competition downstairs. I mean, he's had a complete transformation this season. He's gotten fit, he's gotten sexy, and he finishes that mile really fast and heads on into the shower. Even with a full bladder, Rashida could not be stopped. She won the pillow fight after just one round, and I gotta say it was probably from all those arguments she had in the house, even a couple fist fights here and there. I mean, she's had her full share of those, unlike Bob, who's kind of escaped all the drama all season long. But downstairs, Bob is still in the lead. He's already taken that shower and has started doing his makeup. After this, all he has left to do is fold his clothes in the dryer. Meanwhile, Rashida is just now putting her clothes into the dryer. But poor Rashida, she even gotten onto her knees, the pain was so bad. Eventually, she just decides to let it go and pees all over herself, making her filthy for the second time. But now that Bob is all gussied up, he's put the clothes away as fast as he can, and Rashida has gotten into the shower for the second time, all Bob has to do is make his way through the house once again, then through the pool, and he has got this in the bag. It's crazy to think like how much of a loser Bob was when he entered. I mean, his picture in the intro is him in his robe. He was a slob and he had never worked out a day in his life. However, once he got in here, he avoided all the drama by staying in the gym. He worked off the extra weight, he made himself a little bit sexier, he shaved that beard, and now look at him. I mean, he didn't win comps all season long, but towards the end game, he's been able to win all the ones that really matter, and by swimming over to the edge, he has made it to the final two and has a 50-50 chance of walking out the doors the winner. And I gotta give it to Rashida for not giving up. Even though she was so far behind, she is still continuing on, doing her makeup, finishing the rest, but ultimately, Bob has won the final HOH competition and holds all the power in this game. Because of this, he will be able to pick out of Rashida or Zoe which one he's going to take to Final 2 and sit beside him. And then it's all out of their hands and all the power's in the hands of the jury. But let's make our way into the living room where Bob has a big decision he has to make. Alright, Bob, you have a lot of power. And we're going to do this the way we have always made choosing decisions in this game. And that's going to be all based on your relationships. Whoever you're closest to, you are going to take to final 2. Now, I know you have to pee, I know you're nervous, but I need you to stand up and announce that out of Rashida and Zoe, you choose Rashida to be evicted. I'm sorry, Rashida, but you have gotten 3rd place and you will be a part of the jury. Go ahead and say your goodbyes and walk out the front door. And with that, congratulations, Zoe. You and Bob are our final 2 left in the game, and one of you will be walking out 500,000 simoleons richer. Who do you want to win, and who would you vote for, Bob or Zoe? Let me know down below in the comments. Now, the Big Brother journey has been long and hard for Rashida, but even though it came to an end at 3rd place, it doesn't mean that it's over. She will be back in the next episode to vote for who she wants to be the winner out of Zoe and Bob. And of course, you can download her over on the Sims 4 gallery at Hot Dog Sims, where you can download this house, the Big Brother 25 house, some Big Brother UK houses, a Big Brother shell, a whole bunch of good stuff over there, and you can even have your own game of Big Brother, and maybe she'll win yours. And with that, we only have one more episode left of this season, and that is the series finale, where it all comes down to Bob and Zoe. Bob has gone through such a journey in the house. He's completely transformed himself and got himself to the end. However, he didn't really make that many big game moves. But do you support him winning? Let me know down below in the comments. But of course, there is Zoe. Now, she might not have won this final HOH, but she was in multiple showmances, yet still pretty much avoided the block as most as she could, while winning a few key challenges and getting some huge players out of this game. Do you think she should win? Let me know down below in the comments once again. And with that, we just have one more episode where we see our pre-jurors come back to the house and our jurors will vote for the winner. Who's gonna win? Find out next time.